Welcome to the channel and welcome to the cockpit of our Airbus A320. Been away from YouTube for a little while, but today we're coming back with an experimental flight in Microsoft 2020. Yes, I know I'm kind of late to the show here, but the external A320 software that we use is not yet fully compatible. Somebody developed a clever mod to use it, and that's kind of what we're testing. 2020 gave me some issues already with the views, the additional side views, but we'll see how it goes. So let's jump into the cockpit real quick here. And once again, welcome on board. We're cold and dark here in Zurich. Let me try to get things started. We'll take a little while to align the IRS. So batteries are fine. Let's turn that on. We have external power. Wonderful. And here we go. So give ourselves a little bit of flights. This is all good. Put the radios on. Alright, seat belts. I think we're fully fueled, but we're gonna wait for that. Swerves on auto, CVR test, and here we go. Let's start the alignment. Everything else looks reasonable enough for now. So, flight warning computer, I'm still booting up. Let's see if we can upload our flight plan from SimBrief. So in this model loads it in the secondary flight plan. Let's activate this. Let's go back. Okay, Zurich to Marseille. Pretty short flight for our test today. We're gonna be Swiss 10 Golf, Costin 60, flight level 310. Ground temperature is probably a little lower. We'll put 8 degrees. Align RS. Let's do that to help RS by using the GPS position. Great. So while we are starting this, let me set up the transponder on auto. TCAS will start with above. And let me see, I'll get rid of this. We'll stay in the cockpit for a while, so I'm still getting used to all this views. I need to set up some buttons on my Stream Deck, obviously. So there's a few things that are not fully functional yet in the cockpit, starting with the radio. So we won't be flying on that sim today, but I'm using real-world traffic. So PSX traffic is injecting real-world traffic. Because we're in Zurich, it's already getting late there. We might not have tons of traffic. Now GSX, we don't have the script integrated, so let me see if I can start. Bear with me here. There we go. I don't know, this is so confusing why it needs 2 clicks. We're gonna just request boarding and go from here. I've tried to put it the GSX window as external. Sure looks like the old FSX P3D window, but then GSX doesn't seem to perform as expected. So for now, this will do. Hopefully we'll start getting passengers on board. While we do that, I'm expecting to take off out of runway 32. I saw some other aircraft using 28, but let me look. Like using 32 anyway. Yes, on the Vebit for November departure. That in. So from because this is all an external model running the A320, all the systems work exactly the same between the P3D version and the MSFS 2020 version. So the way they enter the flight plan to Vebit, which is our first waypoint, so we'll avoid the duplicate. We'll check our distance, 305, that sounds reasonable. I'll put that in the secondary now. Rad nav, I don't think we'll use any. Do init B. Uplink should work. Here we go, 6.7 tons of fuel. That is slightly below our flight plan, but hopefully still okay. Fuel. The tip tanks have only 600. That was to 700. So we're good. So let's put the fuel pumps on. Put the seat belts on. So now that we're fuel loaded, quick APU test. We'll turn that off. APU fire. Everything is looking good. Let's start the APU. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Start my chrono. So we'll wait 3 minutes before we put the bleed on. We're up here. Might as well do a full engine fire. 1, engine 2, cam, and there. Alright, wonderful. Hydraulic quantities, everything looks good. Pressurization, auto. Oxygen is all good. Engine, oil quantity. Everything seems reasonable. We got a company message, so it's probably our takeoff performance data, because I don't think we have a final load sheet yet. Okay, we can print this and start entering this information. Let me finish the init B first. So we're looking at an average wind, headwind of 50 knots here. Our rod reserve should be 700 kilogram, or alternate, which is Toulouse. I think we could go to Nice. It's probably a little closer, and there's kind of a front coming from the west. We'll see. Extra final 1 ton, so that's good. Few extra minutes there, all good. So let's take a look at this performance data. Make sure it is for us. It is Zurich, runway 32, temperature 10 degree, QNH 9 or 9 or 8. Let's go ahead and do that. Set 3 times. Normal takeoff config 01. Flexes 64 still gives us 1,000 feet of margin with a V1 of 148. Well, they're all 148. VR 148. We're pretty light today. 100 passenger, not a lot of cargo. Very good. Very good. Okay. Rest of the takeoff data will come courtesy of Black Box 711, and the thrust reduction 2920, which is pretty much what we have in there, 1500 feet. And then the acceleration altitude here out of Zurich is 4420. And our engine out of 3.2, not quite all the same. There's some terrain around the field. Gonna be 3,000 feet, and 3,000 feet, and we have an engine out procedure. It should be in the database, so why don't we put that in our secondary flight plan. Just gonna change our destination for return to the field, taking off of 3.2, but let's see if we had. No, it has not been imported in this database. Alright, well, we'll keep that in the interest of time. What we're gonna do is just return the winds over light and variable So just no star, no via. Fantastic. We can just put quickly some performance number, 909.8, temperature, oh, it's 9 degree now. 9 and no wind. Format error. Yes, didn't take the slash. There we go. And we're gonna be lazy and put radio at 200 for the ILS. Nav accuracy updated. Okay, everything looks mighty fine. Progress in the same spirit, we'll put Zurich or return to the field. Okay, this looks good. We're way past, so we're 5-minute mark. Start APU bleed. Can tell the guys here to disconnect our external power. Put no smoking. So let me see how we're doing on boarding here. The GSX. Yeah, it seems like we're all good. Prepare for pushback and departure then. We've finished the last few things, put our transponder on. Strain 5000, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's our initial altitude. So let's put the beacon on, the jetway is moving away, so our GSX is working for us in a similar way. I still think my views are not quite set up the way they should be. Gonna be my homework. I had them set up, and it's just that 2020 decided to reset everything. So a quick checklist: cockpit part, gear pins and cover signs, ADIRs are all on nav node drift. Fuel quantity 6.7 tons. Verify it's balanced. Takeoff data 148, 148, 148, flaps 1, and here's our company message right on cue. So this will be our final load sheet now. And all I need really is the stamp at 0.5 up. Still verify everything, 102 passenger, pretty light. Okay, it's not mandatory, but I like to put it in the takeoff performance page, up 0.5. Alright, oh yeah, I did not set up, so that probably is GSX calling us through the interphone, but because I didn't have it on, I didn't hear anything. So here we are, nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
There we go. Parking brakes, no. That's another thing that was a little tricky, where it would work
All engines clear.
and be detected by JeeHell but not by GSX. Okay, our bleed pressure. We can start our engine, and we are starting number 2 first. Wonderful. Yeah, I feel like the image is a little bit like in a V, like I'm at the bottom of a ball here. Although they align relatively okay on the edge of the monitor, so maybe it's just a matter of tilting it up a little bit. I have to connect a Xbox controller. It's gonna be much easier to adjust all this. So the traffic, as I mentioned, is PSX traffic, or I think it's just called PSX-T right now. Has both a version for P3D and 2020. So it is injecting real-world traffic, at least the traffic that is moving and that has their transponder on, so as ADSB data. So we're good start number 2, let's start number 1. the traffic that you see parked at the gates is actually recorded. I think it's every week or so, maybe over a month, they record the position, at least at airports where aircraft keep the transponder on all the way to the gate.
Please set parking brakes.
Alright, let's set all parking brake. There is no guarantee that Swiss Air is parked there right now, but that's where they typically park among many other spots here. Alright. We had downwinds door, beacon, thrust lever, parking brake. Alright, NTIs is not required. ECAM status, now that we are good on both engine. There we go, we're normal, so we can do our flow real quick, up 0.5. Like to start the chrono for the engine warm-up time, and then we can turn off the APU blade. And everything is all good. So I'll wait for the personnel to clear the nose of the aircraft before putting my weather radar, although that is just a habit, as that's not supported in P3D. The JeeHell software is interfaced to Active Sky, so we get all the functionality with the tilt again working nicely. Okay, I haven't seen anyone around this aircraft. Did they just run away real quick? To detect the parking brake? Yeah, I don't think it's complaining. Well, let's see. What do we have out of here? Oh, they're still there. Huh. I wonder, for some reason it didn't... Almost seems like it's waiting for me to set the parking brake. Which it is set. And I can see pressure there. Okay, maybe my little trick. Let's see if this might help here.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah, I guess I didn't detect. So I was mentioning earlier, the parking brake is detected for by the JeeHell A320 software, as well as the sim itself. I think it's just GSX, so you have to explicitly use the set or release parking brakes, which I did through FSI UIPC, and kind of had to use shortcut. Didn't want to use the keyboard necessarily, but I can. The on and off position are actually two switches in the Scalarchy hardware, so I had put one position of the switch to trigger the JeeHell part, and the other position of the switch to trigger or the GSX part, but apparently didn't work this time.
Bypass pin removed.
Alright, well,
Left is clear.
I'll see you
Right
guys
is clear.
soon. Show me the pin. We can do quick flight control, and we are 0.5 up. That's all good. Flight instruments, everything looks reasonable. Briefing has been completed before the recorder started. So we're gonna taxi to 3-2. So we need to be careful about crossing to 8, as it is an active runway. Oh, it doesn't detect. That's another problem. It doesn't detect that my engines are running. Alright. So, you know what? We'll say goodbye to GSX real quick. It mostly worked. Come on, main menu. No, I don't want to park. Oh my goodness. Maybe if I start moving, it's just gonna freak out. Well, I say we go. I say we go. PWS, radar, all good. TCSS, transponder, taxi lights. Let's see if we can move. Oh, if GSX left us in a weird off the ground state, or so did it detect the parking brake off? Let's see. No. Okay. I'm not sure. Hi, otherwise he's gonna come into the alley, and I don't know where we park. Well, that's gonna be interesting. Well, we're gonna play a game of chicken. Yeah, the tiller works, which was yet another adventure. Doesn't seem to work all the time. I bet he's gonna cross here to my left. So we'll see. Drive on the right side of the road. Try not to clip him. There we go, he's turning. That's right. I should have been patient. I should have been patient. But besides that, we're clear on the left. Gonna take inner taxiway here. I believe this is default scenery because I have absolutely no scenery for 2020 quite yet. Alright, there's a British Airways late flight from London probably, just arriving, landing on 28. I guess the view are not too bad. Probably be tweaked, but so we could cross here. One thing I'll do for sure is put TCAS. There we go. There's a plane there. Do we see it on final? How far is it? Yeah, he's not very far. Definitely hold short of 28. Let them land. Like a 5-mile spacing with the next one, maybe 6. Would give us enough time to cross 28 right here. I wonder if it's a little private jet coming back to Zurich or something like that. Okay, we'll wait here at Kilo. No, it is a commercial flight. That's an Air France. There we go. Seemed like it was a little long, but the data there is not always perfect. So let's make sure we put our strobe or landing lights, or as we're crossing active runway. 10 tower gave us the go ahead. Boarding, cabin personnel. So I've done probably 2, maximum 3 flights in 2020 with this setup. I had 2020 since day one on my smaller GA sim. But it's not until recently that there's kind of a half-baked solution to connect all the hardware and software we're using here. Galarkey and JeeHell. Perfect. It has been way more than 3 minutes, so engine are good. Let's pretend we're clear to get on this runway. Plenty of margin, but it never hurts to use all the runway to start with. What do they say? A runway behind you? It's like altitude above you. You left at the airport. Not particularly useful. Okie dokie. Bring up my Navigraph charts real quick here for the Vivid for November departure. I did say 5,000. And it, no, transition is 7, airport elevation. Yep, initial climb clearance 5,000. Okay. Cool! I say we go. There are actually some other traffic that might be wanting to come on 3-2. No, it's pretty... Oh! But there's traffic coming on 1-4. That, well, let's go then. I say let's go. Alright, we good to go, Chrono. Oh, that's gonna be close. Oops, I should definitely wait. But, you know, what's the fun in that? Yeah, the winds are variable, so Zurich, sometimes I use, you know, all kinds of runway. You can see 2.8 is landing and 1.4. Sorry, 2.8. Yeah, they were landing on 2.8 as well. I guess at this time of the day we're like, when we're not checked. Oh gee, this pedal's a little twitchy here. Going up and down the bumps, and the aircraft is there. Alright, V1, rotate. That's all good. That's all good. Alright, positive red, gear up. Okay, yeah, the views are not too bad. It's hard to tell with 15-degree pitch. I think the horizons seem a little more off than that, but okay, so now we're gonna shoot toward the next landing aircraft. First climb out of thrust, but we're not gonna accelerate quite yet. If you remember, 2720 was our thrust reduction, which we just did, but our acceleration altitude is not until 4420, which is now. Where's the traffic? Where is the traffic? Okay, so we're clear to 17. Why not? Approaching us speed, flaps up, speed check, flaps up. And we only had to dodge 2 aircraft for landing. This is like a signature move. Could almost claim it's AI traffic landing the other way. But no. I should have done my homework and look which way they were landing. Because once again, Zurich can have you taking off at 2.8 and land on 1.4. Now taking off on 3-2 like we did and landing on 1-4 is a little bit more problematic. I'll admit that. Alright, let's go look at the Alps. Past the transition altitude, so we can go standard. 1, 2, 3. So the plane seems to fly pretty much the way I would expect it. Once again, that's mostly due to the fact that the software we're using is an external model, so just using SimConnect to get the data I need to calculate the position, the behavior of the aircraft. Alright, we're gonna be at 250 and almost up to 10,000, so I'm not gonna worry too much about the speed right there. There we go. Continue. Call the climb. Alright, I'm gonna give the autopilot a somewhat trimmed aircraft. Why don't we say we do that? Autopilot 1 is engaged. AP1, yep. So we're thrust climb, open climb. I think we're gonna get clear to 310 by clearing ourselves. And we'll do a little bit of cleanup. So another thing that works just the same is the GPWiz and the eGPWiz. Those actually run on a separate computer than the flight sim computer. Okay, I'm a little late to do my after takeoff checklist. Landing gears are up, flaps are retracted, and the taxi was back on takeoff, so that's all good. And we'll let the flight attendants start the service on this fairly short flight. So let me see, right now the autopilot seems to track reasonably. I think I'd observed some discrepancies on the speed sometime. Once again, this is really beta-ish in terms of the interface. The functionality of the plane, once again, is the same. It's pretty complete. It's really asking that software to now work nicely with 2020 instead of P3D. Okay, well, it seems like it's tracking. Open climb, nav. I could have let it go and climb, there's no difference, we were way past those constraints. Anyway, all good. Headed to Vivet. So we're kinda gonna go around the Alps here. If I zoom out a little bit to give you guys a better idea. So here's the north of Switzerland with Zurich. Initially had west, southwest, and then head south towards the French Riviera. So Marseille is more of an industrial. I mean, it's the second largest city in France, I believe. So it's fairly industrious. Okay, so we'll keep monitoring all this. So far, so good. Let's start thinking already about our arrival into Marseille, as once again this is not going to be a super long flight. We're looking at just shy of 60 minutes, shy of an hour. Some brief things that 1-3 left via the Balzi 1 Romeo. Don't know if I've ever been to Marseille in the sim. I've been in real life. Probably that was last century, but or last millennium. Look at that airport chart. why can't we get the airport chart? One thing I noticed, I'm using the Navigraph software on my tablet here. Annotation are certainly very nice, but it seemed a little, the responsiveness of the app seemed to have suffered a little bit. No, it's my second tablet, so it's my old tablet. We're going through visible moisture-ish. Well, we'll put the engine NTIs on the safe side as the total air temperature is below 10 degrees C. Okay, so that's the long runway, the 1-3 left towards the terminal side, so sounds reasonable to me. Let's get some weather. So LFML for Marseille, and I think any Airbus flight in France that alternate. We're gonna take Toulouse. Send that. So we have at least or some initial weather report. I don't know if it will change. The wind is reporting 100 at 13. 10 plus visibility, fuel class 2100, broken 3100, broken 3900, temperature 12, dew point 10, UNH 9 and 901. Okay, 10 okay, becoming 15, gusting 25 away with rain. Well, let's use yet another wonderful feature of Navigraph, and that would be the weather, which is now integrated with SimBrave. So I saw there's definitely some turbulence. Let's get just the radar for now. No, you guys can't see it, but okay, it's still relatively far. It's about to hit Toulouse, and it's almost in north-south direction, a whole front moving across of France and even all the way up to Belgium and the Netherlands. So let me animate it, but I have no doubt it's moving west to east. It's actually moving mostly northeast. Interesting. Well, we should be good. Famous last words. Okay, so we're gonna plan for 1-3 left. I'll try probably the ILS. I'm really curious to see. That's another question, the database being different. I mean, I use Navigraph and it gets imported, but then the JeeHell software has to kind of chew on the Navigraph data to create its own database with all the information. And I like this two-step process. One of the reasons is that you can inject your own additional information. So you can download all the Navigraph nav data, but then you can add a basic text file as long as you use the same format as Navigraph, which you kind of have to reverse engineer a little bit. But then you can add your own procedure. That's how I have, although it wasn't compiled. I just updated due to the new cycle. It wasn't compiled in this for this flight. But you can have your engine out procedure, or you can also add procedures that are no more in effect, or some visual procedure that might not have an actual chart. Alright, the traffic is, we're still climbing. So all the other aircrafts are nicely separated. We're just, we have, oh, the autopilot is going to take over or not? It shouldn't. There's a mode where the autopilot will follow. Oh, that might. It is trying to follow. But as my aircraft is not communicating to that aircraft, I don't think resolution is necessarily Even from my perspective, I mean, that plane is just flying obviously totally ignorant of our virtual position here. Alright, we're gonna clear it. We're gonna clear it. Let's go TA only for now. There we go. Okay, 3-1, let's go back. Let's do 1,000 as we join that flight level. Okay, so we're looking at Balzi. Brings you all the way down the, what is that, the Rhone Valley, I think, towards the south, Marseille, and the Avignon VOR. Okay, so Balzi 1 Romeo it is, and Rixie seems, yeah, seems reasonable. Okay. That's in the box, we'll check it real quick. Radar, start heading south. Top of descent, but we'll look at that in more details in a sec. Yeah. Alright, this looks good for now. So there's some other traffic. We're still in the layer of clouds. I'll keep the engine anti-ice for now. But to approach or tap those mountains on the left and even on the. Are we going over the Jura? Where's Geneva? Never did my little cleanup here in red now. That's fine. Where would Geneva be? 228. Yeah, smack on the nose. Yep, we'll overfly Geneva. So with the Alps on our left to the south and the Jura to the right or a little bit at our 2 o'clock position. You can see on the terrain map we're staying kind of lower level. There's a series of lakes, including Lake Geneva, but because they're not at sea level, they're not displayed on the Airbus terrain display. And then we can see to the left the higher altitude due to the Alps up to 14,900. So a lot of the routes either take you a little bit around the Alps like we're doing, or if you were to go maybe from Zurich to Milan or pretty much anywhere in Italy, it will get to a point where you can cross north-south straight, trying to minimize the time you'll spend over the Alps in case of needing an alternate, or assuming if you have a decompression. You can see here some of the tops are well above 10,000, so nice view. Certainly can't complain about the graphics in 2020. Passing a waypoint, keeping an eye on. Okay, the autopilot seems to be behaving as expected. Now that we're in cruise, let me put our TCAS on below. You can see on the ND how it changed. So I can do all, which is only a thing plus or minus 2,000 feet. I can do above, which starts at minus 2,000, so the same aircraft as you can see between all and above, but then it adds a bunch of aircraft at more than 2,000. I think that might go all the way to plus 10,000 or 99. And then if we do all, but we go now below, this case, this, oh yeah, the minus 22, no, that one, yeah, I guess even in all might be more. All is not all, as you can tell, because if you go It's not the sum of above and below. I thought maybe it's 3,000 then. Because we had that 20. So below the minus 27, which is above to leave. Maybe. Maybe it's 2,500? Sure, somebody in the comment can not even correct me. I'm sure I'm wrong, but just educate me, and then I'll know. Alright, so level 310, Geneva is a clear option if we need to go down in a hurry. Already got our company message, wonderful. That will be some info. Oh, that's the old weather request. I guess it was 2-page. I'm gonna get that. We should get. Maybe it's a little later. It's just kind of random. As we approach our destination, let me put that distance on the progress page on the second MSCTU. LFML is what we're looking for. Yeah, 190. So I'm surprised he has asked me to enter the performance data. Okay, I'll start with that initial weather report. Nope, wrong key. Here we go. Received weather. 100. 13. Temperature. Was it 12 degree? 12 degree. And QNH was 909 or something. 901. We'll do the ILS Zulu, might as well. So let me pull the minimum. Yeah, I can see here, I select the ILS, and it's taking a little while, but hasn't added it to the list of charts. Oh, and that might be different. Sometimes it does not automatically add the approach chart to the list of charts, and I'm not sure why. Initial approach, RNAV, initial approach. Oh, it's a combination. It looks like there's an RNAV initial approach from the north to the 13, and that's the Rixie to Mazette. So we'll pin that, and then you can do the final, the ILS Zulu or Yankee to runway 13 left. So that's interesting. Both ILS Zulu and Yankee, localizer Zulu and Yankee, are on the same chart. So I wonder where the difference might be, if any. Okay, in any case, standard ILS, yes, at 3 degree, starts 12.5 miles out at 4,000 feet. Airport elevation is 70 feet, the runway is only at 8 feet. Well, let's see how the airport looks then. 2020. And, okay, so we're overflying Geneva. Starting to turn more towards the south. Straight landing ILS 1, 2, what are those? Not missed. Oh, it depends on the missed approach climb gradient. 2.7, we can definitely do that. Category PNC is 218. And then missed approach climb gradient 2.5. Not clear what the difference between the Zulu and the Yankee is. Required. So they sent to 11.0 for localizer. Yankee. Conventional initial approach. Okay, well, we can do our nav. That's not an issue. You can see on the ND, we're just keeping the terrain to our left, skirting the Alps. Well, why don't we go and try an external view at this? Sorry for the primitive system, but here's our A320 Neo. Where's Lake Geneva? Yeah, we already just passed it, and with the cloud it's a little tricky. And I don't know if the jet d'eau down there, which is basically like a giant fountain. You can see the Alps. Very nice. So I plan to record this flight as flown as in 2020, and then on the return leg I'll do it the usual P3D. Not necessarily, you know, trying to do a full compare, but just my overall experience. We know who's gonna be the winner on the graphics side, and I have to say I'm relatively surprised how well it runs across 3 screens. I do not run the sim in 4K across all 3 screens, but it's pretty decent. I think I'm at 1440. Alright, engine NTIs can come off for sure right now. An aircraft in front of us. Oh, he's 20 nautical miles, so no way we're gonna see that. We're about to pass our ETP, which by default is calculated with no winds between departure and arrival airport. We know Geneva is behind us, so that would be a good option. We probably have, yeah, Lyon LFLL just outside the 40 nautical miles range. I got 260. There's also LFLY, but I'm pretty sure the closer one is the LFLL. That would be Lyon. Okay, let's figure out a little bit or descent here. Progress page. As it, you can see, well, you can't. I'm gonna switch back. Cockpit. Here we are. I'll give you the instruments so you can see the top of descent arrow. 35 or so miles in front of us. I always like to do kind of back of the envelope calculation using the 3 nautical miles per 1,000 feet. Look at whatever constraint might be along the way on the Balzi arrival. So we need to be below 2,900, 2,200. There's no altitude at the end, altitude constraint at the end. Well, it looks like we're gonna, okay, ML602 is flight level 70. So what we can do is use that as a fix, ML, so the last 2 letters of the airport, LFML, so ML602, which is this guy, and we're talking 70 flight level, we're at 310. So that's 24,000 feet difference. The 24 times 372 will add maybe 10 to slow down, and 3 to be on the safe side, so I'm going to put 85. Let's see where that falls. Yep, similar. I would have expected it to be more conservative because it kind of curves, but there are some initial constraints that we might have to. Yeah, there you go. I can't stay at 31,000 ML 500. We need to be at or below 290. Okay, like we were constrained at ML 602. Interesting. I'm gonna check the waypoints here. So the Balzi 1 Romeo starts at Balzi, no surprise there. ML 500 with a constraint, career. Okay. Below 220, which will meet MTL. Below 190, speed restriction, okay. So that gets us to Rixie. Is Avignon? Yeah, Avignon is technically the last waypoint there. Then there's this transition. I wonder if that's what we're missing here. I kind of overlap. Interesting. Rixie, Avignon. Is ML 602? No, MTG 27. Is that the beginning of the ILS? Not clear. Alright, let's see if we can build it real quick. Oh, it has. Why it doesn't show it? Career, MTL, Rixie, Avignon. It has a waypoint that it's not displaying. Interesting. Oh, I wonder if it... No, not sure. We'll have to be careful there. Well, that's why we check. Okay, we're pushing our top of descent. Let's put 10,000 and start our descent here. Now, one thing I noticed sometimes it kind of nosedive a little bit when we transition. Seems to be okay here. And for cost index, put that at 20 in the descent. I don't like when the speed range in the descent is just pegged against the barber pole. No, it did probably calculate. Wonder if it messed up this calculation to mine. Well, I mean, we do need to go down to meet that 2900. Is it still planning? Yeah, has it here. So, alright. Weather seems to actually clear up. I mean, not that we had bad weather, but the cloud density, cloud coverage. So we are in the counter forward, so the hilly terrain is not fully mountainous here yet. Okay, so here we are on the Balzi. I can clear this up here. clear the fix, and we'll make that go away. ML 500. This Grenoble, yeah. Past Grenoble. On our way down. Now I'm surprised. Well, it's happy with the 1,000 feet descent, but the progress page would have us 500 feet above. Yeah, it would have us right at 29,000. I level to 900 when passing that waypoint, so keeping us as high and as long as possible. Not too far, so we'll rejoin the vertical descent path soon. For now, we're just doing 1,000 feet per minute down. Oh, here is that lovely traffic crossing in front of us. Alright, let me zoom out and see what the radar does now. I don't need to play it, I'm just gonna move it. Yeah, everything is moving northeast. There's not a lot of movement in our direction, so we'll stay parallel. That front is all over there, but kind of moving to our right and staying to our right, so it's good. Okay, our next constraint. Courir, which means to run in French. It's not spelled like that, but I'm sure that's how you would pronounce the courir intersection. Be coming down the beautiful valley here. I mean, it's a broad valley. There's not much. A little bit of mountainous, but certainly older mountains to our right and the Alps to our left. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna continue to monitor things. Now we're back on the profile. Just want to make sure we don't get surprised, because all the altitude constraints are at or below. And Montélimar MTL 280 max below 190. Okay, that works. So at least it keeps us below a certain level, but at level 190 is still pretty high, but that's quite a way from the airport anyway. I just think we'll get a geometric path after that might descend a little faster. But technically our first constraint on that initial approach, Rixi to Avignon. Oh, that has a flight level. Yep, no, 80. Okay, let me hard code that. And it doesn't think it can make it, so. Okay, now maybe it will. So that's good. That's gonna put us at flight level 80, and then that's when the ML 602 that I still can't find. TG initial fix is I13LZ. No, that's the ILS, right? Runway 1. Is it a vector past Mazet? No, it is some waypoint, but it's not clear. Mazet is 5,000. That's in here. It's hard-coded at 5. Alright, we'll really have to probably manage the descent ourselves. I think it would do a decent job, but it might leave us kind of high and fast. And Zebra is 4,000. Yeah. Navigraph typically, that has nothing to do with 2020. I see it in P3D. When all that, sorry, no clear temperature. All that Navigraph data gets imported. A lot of these altitude constraints get turned into at or above, when it should be hard constraint at. Zebra is your ILS kind of plateau altitude 4,000. You have 2.3 miles until you just have the glide slope, and then go down heading 132 and a 3-degree descent path. Let's see if at least the frequency, that is the ML, yes, ILS 110.3, and the front course is 132 on the chart, 131 in database. That's acceptable. A few degrees, not a big deal. I heard something fall here, but I have no idea what it might have been. Alright. Back to the ballsy arrival. Tailing more. Max 280, so we're good there. And 190. Perfect. Okay, so progress page. We can certainly put Marseille here to help. 75 nautical miles at as the crow fly. Take a look at the map. So the moving map, obviously Navigraph provides that. I also use FS flight control as I know it has been a requested feature for Navigraph, and I suspect they'll implement it at one point in time like they did with the annotation. But if you look at the FS flight control display on the top right, you can see how it has all the AI traffic. You can get that same MyVeo pilot edge, so that helps quite a bit. And you can see your arrival into the Marseille area. Okay, 280. So the range, the speed range now has been limited to up to 285. You know, it's constraint plus 5. Well, let's see, just for fun, let's put 275. It seems like when I transition, it pitch wiggled a little bit, but still behaving pretty decently. And it should. So still following the profile here. Okay, we got a little above. Not too much. Wonder if it's having a hard time now that it doesn't have like a speed range. It shouldn't, but okay. Let's put 8, which is our flight level 80, which is next constraint. And how far away? Yeah, You know what, I'm gonna open descent here, so thrust idle, open descent, flight level 80 is blue. And we'll do it at 270. Okay. Very nice. I don't know if any of this traffic is headed for Marseille, then adds a little bit of challenge. We will have to sequence ourselves. There's a Ryanair flight that is indeed headed to Marseille. This flight is from Copenhagen to Barcelona. But I think the aircraft on TCAS at 20 miles to or 11 o'clock, that's the Ryanair. And there's a flight behind us, Transavia, going from Amsterdam to Nice. And yeah, there's 4 flights going to Nice. Gonna be busy. There's another Ryanair, but that's further back, so I don't think there's too many shortcuts, so I think we'll be good. Talking about shortcut, we can be our own ATC. Let's give ourselves direct Avignon. Okay, 8,000, so yeah, we'll certainly meet that that constraint. Well, we'll follow that aircraft, and 20 miles follow, so plenty of room. We're overflying Avignon, which was a long time ago the city where the Pope would reside when it wasn't in Rome. I mean, meaning wasn't like a second residence, like the center of Christian religion. Alright, we're approaching 10,000. I should have been a little bit more proactive on slowing us down to 250. Lights on. Ding, everybody. Hopefully controllers are not too picky. The non-existent controllers. It looks like the Ryanair is probably just vectored, because he's still 9,500 or something like that. That's weird. Although I don't fully trust the altitude Microsoft puts you in when you're flying standard level, or flight levels basically. Okay, well, we basically kept those mountains to our left all the way around. We are not mere 46 miles from Marseille. Gonna level off here at 8,000. Keep us at 250 for now. And it's a long runway, 10,000 plus. I think, let me check. So I'm probably not gonna use any auto brake. It's beautiful weather, dry. 11,286 feet, so. And there's no high speed exit really, so. Yeah, we'll just roll and hopefully we'll make Delta this. Oh, there's a Delta 6, which is a high-speed exit. Okay. That's probably 8,000 feet down the runway, so... Probably just jinxed myself, but that's what we'll be shooting for. Okay, the weather is still staying way back, so not gonna be a factor. Approaching the Avignon VR. And I'm looking at the initial approach to runway 13 left and right coming from the north. Rixie, Avignon, the mysterious ML602. I wonder if it's MTG27. $7,000, yeah. Interesting. You know what? We're gonna do 10,000 there. But then I wanna know where ML602 is. ML602, 12 miles ahead. It sure looks like, yeah, I guess I will put a little circle around it. Yep, this is right there. This is right there. Okay, well, let's look at the big picture. So let's descend 7,000. We'll do that at like 1,200. No rush. Let me update the weather. No, that's the one we had, but I want the latest if there is any update. Let's see. Let's print that. Performance page. Need my glasses. Marseille is reporting wind 100 at 13, temperature 12, 901. So it might actually be the same. All good. Okay, level up of 7. We're gonna slow down to 230. I mean, we're still a good 17 miles behind that aircraft, so all good. And I have to say, Microsoft 2020 looks pretty good when you have a 180-degree field of view. Okay, clear our little experiment here. ML602, MTG27, whichever way you prefer to be addressed as. Okay, now it would transition to, or it did transition to our approach wave, but as I had selected speed, we're gonna stay selected speed here. Okay, this is probably the Étang de Berre, that large water body, and the airport is not just quite straight, a little bit on the left, and I think runway 13 left is actually encroaching on the water a little bit. Alright, you know what, at this point we'll do 4,000 and we'll go down. Ooh, chillax. So now we're back to manage descent, but select the speed. So it will respect the 5,000 feet constraint at Marseille. And the Ryanair is on its 10 miles final, 213 left. So here you can see the interesting Airbus design decision where the Mediterranean Sea is visible, but the Étang de Berre, which is at sea level, is not. Zebra is our initial approach fixed, I believe. So here we go, 5,000, 999er. Were we 99901? I think so. I'll check, yep, it's there. And it is set. Let's say we're clear for the ILS, 13 left in Marseille. Do a quick approach briefing, ECAM status, life is all good, seat belts, all the signs are on, BRF is set, right, engine mode is going to be normal, so that's our approach checklist completed a little late. Yeah, you see once again it's keeping the speed a little higher than what I would expect. Alright, I have the airport in sight. Slow down to 210. Wanted to give it time to get to 4,000. Hopefully. Okay, it's already idle. I could go open descent, but we'll be there for 4,000. Alright, we will see what the ILS does or doesn't do for us. So, make sure LS is armed. Slowly leveling off as the speed bleeds off, so get 3 single. Okay, smash speed, let's go flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Well, it does feel good to be back in the cockpit. I had to take a little bit of a break due to some shoulder pain. Oh, why did it level? Oh, it's because it's trying to slow down. I see. Slowing down and going down is never easy. Okay, so there we're still in nav. Really good turn. Well, I'll let it do its thing in nav for now. Yeah, that's not the turn I was expecting. Let's see if we go approach. I wonder if it's gonna... Okay, we've lock and glide slope, but I wonder if it's gonna do these S-turn that I had observed before. Or if it will ultimately stabilize. Okay, well, maybe the nav to ILS transition was a little weird. I guess if I wanted to do a comparison, it would be with P3D. Would have to fly the same. Okay, 4,000 is the missed approach altitude, so it's good. Let's go flaps 2, still 11 miles odd, but on the spoiler. Like to start bleeding some speed there. We can always put the gears on, but not like we're super heavy or... Well, let's put the gear down. So it's not managed. It's what's our 127 VLS. Alright, the gear is gonna help. Okay, traffic landed, wonderful. Let me do a quick check. Yeah, the guy behind us has has been catching up pretty quick. I mean, we should be fine. Okay, I'm expecting the 2500. Yeah, there you go. We see him line up with the wrong runway. Is that? I mean, it's in front of me, but I don't think it's center. Maybe the view is a little off. All right, let's go flaps 3. We'll worry about this later. Drifting. What's the wind doing? Oh, geez, still 40 knots. Okay, so we are crabbing a little bit. So that might be all. Yeah, you can see the ground speed mini. It's keeping us at 132, 131. The approach. Alright, we are clear to land. So we are flaps full, so we're landing no blue speed, and cabin crew has been notified. Why does it think we should do 160? That doesn't make sense, dude. I mean, I can give you a little bit more margin if you want, but 132 is our V-app. Alright, so the ILS seems to be doing just fine this time. Don't know why if I push, yeah, it's just, don't do that. Alright, 132 will do 135 due to the 36 knot headwind. Holy moly. That way? No, well, I had to enter on 100 at 13. You know what? We're gonna 140. So it's still below 15. So knots wind. So it's just added 5 between VLS and V approach. Okay, the wind is just smack down the runway, so that's good. Coming on 1,000. Terrain anymore. We're wiggling left and right a little bit. At the wind, yeah, but still. I'll let it go maybe until 500. Seems to be dancing a little more. P3D has this somewhat artificial feeling of being kind of unreal. It sure looks like we're high. I mean, three white, 1 red. I mean, we are on the glide slope, supposedly. Keep dancing.
100 above.
Left and right a little bit. Alright. Autopilot at 500 is coming off. I'll push the nails down a little bit. Continue. I don't know. I've heard
400.
Glide slope in 2020 is, you know, sometimes questionable, so.
Right slope, right slope.
Yeah,
right
I know,
slope,
boss, but
right slope, right slope, right slope.
you know what? Here we go. I know I'm high.
200.
I can see it. Whatever the glide slope or the
100. 50. 40. 30.
Alright, calm down, calm down. Oh my goodness.
20. Retard.
Oh, we're gonna miss that touchdown zone.
10. 5.
Yep. Oh, that's not legal. That is not legal, definitely. Keeps the nose pretty high, I feel. Okay, and it stops way too fast. That is not realistic. I had heard that too. At least slow down. It seemed, I know we're light, but it seemed like we slowed down like very quickly. Alright, well, we are on the ground. Start the chrono, stop this one, vacate left here. Delta 6. Did I miss Delta 7? There was a X one that has... Oh, yeah, no, there's no Delta 7 in 2020. Alright, so we can start cleaning up. Certainly start the APU. Let me turn facing the threshold so you can see that Ryanair coming in. He hasn't landed yet. No, I kept the TCAS on so we can still see it. Alright. Chrono is on. Disarm ground spoiler. Rudder trim is 0. Your aircraft here. Your gates. I'm gonna kind of keep going this way. Waiting for the Ryanair on a 3 miles final to land. Not even 3 miles. Overall, a very pleasant flight. Yeah, I think this would be Delta 7. Not in 2020 yet. I mean, that's what's for the power for any sim. So let me just float on here. Turn off the TCAS. Oh, GSX. Yeah, I know I slowed down, but okay, well, pick a gate. Pick a gate. How far are those? 22? Oh, there's no follow me car? I would show you. I have no idea where we're gonna go after this, but alright, here's the Ryanair. Boom, schlong. Well, I guess the data is incorrect because it just stopped there and then disappeared. Alright, goodbye Ryanair. Or maybe it was a really hard landing. Who knows? Okay, flight director, I should have turned these off. 2022 or something like that. Let me see if I can get an idea. I don't see the ground crew yet. Swiss 850 is unfamiliar with the area. Clearly need... Oh my goodness, Microsoft has like 1,000,000 parking spots. Watch 22 being one where they already put... Oh no, it's the one around it. Okay, alright, we'll take a little tour here. It's all good. All good. Transavia, Air France. Little ATR over there on my right. So apparently the terminal kind of continue and hooks left. Big double jetway. Oh, we'll follow this taxi. Strian. That would be a fun fly from here to Innsbruck. Probably not realistic, but... Okay, is our friend from Ryanair gonna reappear somewhere? No, I think he's gone for good. Oh, do I have to go all around here? Eh, this poor taxiway drawing. I think this will do just fine. Oh, hi, fuel truck. Never fails. Hello. Okay, we'll go around the corner here. Nice little private jet there. So I wonder if aircraft turned the transponder off once in the ground. Although he was still on the runway, so it wouldn't be before he vacated the runway. But sometimes the data is not good when they're close to ground, or there's some object blocking signal transmission. Alright, 22. There! I see your GSX friends. Is it the first? It would be nice if we had numbers. Hold on. I think it might be this one already. Can't quite tell. No, that's 23. 21, 22, 23. Okay, so... Cause I didn't see... I'm assuming we'll get a marshaller. We'll barely get a little baggage cart, that's for sure. Nice tag. No. Either the marshaller is in the building or, well, they're on strike. You know, we are in France after all. Okay, so I have no idea where I need to stop this thing. I mean, maybe no idea, but some vague. Aéroport Marseille Provence. Sounds good. So it's always further down than you think, but I think GSX will need some room to work with. Alright, let's see if this works. AP is on, parking brake coming on. We can turn on both engine. Waiting for 5% N1. The beacon can come off. There, now the slides. Welcome to Marseille. This will do just fine. This will do just fine. Well, we did it, folks. Not the very first, but one of the very first flights in Microsoft 2020 in our Airbus A320 cockpit. Hope you enjoy it. I should be back in the cockpit more often now.